Hi, everybody. This is Stuart Foster with 15 minutes of music, all rehearsed and ready to go. So stand by, America. Here's your Stars for Defense.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's your Stars for Defense with Ray Block and his orchestra. Yours truly, Jay Jackson, and today starring Stuart Foster. Stars for Defense is presented by this station every week as a public service in cooperation with the Office of Civil Defense. There are 3 new films that you ought to see, and the admission to all is absolutely free. We'll tell you about them later on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest for today, a Stars for Defense favorite and frequent visitor, Stuart Foster.
I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, my dear, with you. My heart won't let my feet do things they should do. You know what? You're lovely, and so what? You're lovely, but oh, what you do to me. I'm like an ocean wave that's bumped on the shore. I feel so absolutely stumped on the floor. When you dance, you're charming and you're gentle, especially when you do the continental. But this feeling isn't purely mental, for heaven rest us, I'm not asbestos, and that's why I won't dance. Why should I? I won't dance. How could I won't dance. Merci beaucoup. I know that music leads the way to romance. So if I hold you in my arms, I won't dance.
Merci beaucoup to Stuart Foster. And Stu, I'd like to tell you right now that you don't have to dance. Nobody's going to ask you to dance.
Okay, Jay, you've made your point. I guess I'd better leave right now.
Oh, no, Stu, don't go. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. All I meant was that this show is geared to listening rather than looking, so all you'll be asked to do is to sing.
I understand, Jay. I suppose I was being hypersensitive.
Not at all, Stu. Sensitivity is a very good quality for a performer to have. And now that you are staying, instead of going off in a huff, what's your next song going to be?
Well, Jay, it's a tune from Frank Lesser's great musical Guys and Dolls. Let's pretend that I'm playing the role of Sky Masterson singing to Sarah Brown, who's Sky's leading lady in the show.
Your eyes are the eyes of a woman in love, and oh, how they give you away. Why try to deny you're a woman in love, when I know very well what I say? I say no moon in the sky ever let such a glow, some flame deep within made them shine. Those eyes are the eyes of a woman in love, and may they gaze evermore into mine. Crazily gaze evermore into mine. Those eyes are the eyes of a woman in love, and may they gaze evermore into mine. Crazily gaze evermore into
A Woman in Love, very beautifully sung for us by Stuart Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to the following message from your Office of Civil Defense. The saying goes, a picture is worth 10,000 words. And sometimes that's certainly true, about fallout, for instance. Many people have heard so many misleading words about the dangers of radiation, they think there's no real protection against it. In fact, not much point in even trying. But to clear up the picture, the Office of Civil Defense has made a picture, a motion picture, in color, that presents the facts about fallout in terms everyone can understand. It explains radiation, its decay rate, its effect on food, water, and living cells, and, most important, what you can do in time of emergency to guard your family against its dangers. What's more, this film, called About Fallout, is now being made available for showings at any interested club or school or civic group. There is no charge for screening the film. The only restriction is that the use must be non-profit with no admission charged. And incidentally, there are several other new films that might also interest your group. One is a pictorial history of the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis titled 1 Week in October and narrated by Gary Merrill. Another is Town of the Times, starring Ralph Meeker and Larry Gates, and dealing dramatically with the lack of fallout protection for our children in many of our schools. If you'd like to show any of these films to your club or group, we suggest you call your local civil defense director. He'll help you make the necessary arrangements. But all three films are now in considerable demand, and the requests will be treated on a first-come, first-served basis. Just remember the titles, About Fallout, 1 Week in October, and Town of the Times. 3 pictures worth 3 times 10,000 words. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, Stars for Defense is a two-sided program. There's the informational side and the entertainment side. At the moment, we're ready to resume the latter, and the entertainment's in the hands of the orchestra, under the baton of Ray Bloch.
And here to entertain us is that famous girl from Ipanema.
Thank you, Raymond and orchestra. Stuart Foster, it's time to put you through your paces again.
Okay, Jay, you can call me Kelso.
Well, I hardly meant to imply that you're a horse, Stu. Not even a horse of the year. Actually, you're the singer of the hour, this hour.
Then I guess I'll sing. Here's a beautiful Kurt Weill number, the title song from the musical play, Lost in the Stars.
Before Lord God made the sea and the land, he held all the stars in the palm of his hand, and they ran through his fingers like grains of sand, and one little star fell alone. Then the Lord God hunted through the wide night air for the little dark star on the wind down there, and he stated and promised he'd give special care so it wouldn't get lost again. Now a man don't mind if the stars grow dim and the clouds blow over and darken him, so long as the Lord God's watching over him, keeping track how it all goes on. But I've been walking through the night and the day till my eyes get weary and my hair turns gray. And sometimes I think maybe God's gone away, forgetting the promise that we heard him say. And we're lost out here in the stars, little stars, big stars, glowing through the night. And we're lost out here in the stars, little stars, big stars, glowing through the night. And we're lost out here in the stars.
For the past 15 minutes, you've been listening to Stars for Defense, a transcribed feature presented as a public service by this station every week in cooperation with the Office of Civil Defense. Today, our star was Stuart Foster, to whom we extend our sincere thanks for a fine performance. Now, this is Jay Jackson inviting you to join us next week for some more good music by Ray Bloch and his orchestra and another famous star on Stars for Defense.
Hi, everyone. This is Kay Arman, and we've got some music for you. So stand by, America. Here's your Stars for Defense.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's your Stars for Defense with Ray Block and his orchestra. Yours truly, Jay Jackson, and today starring Kay Arman. Stars for Defense is presented by this station every week as a public service in cooperation with the Office of Civil Defense. Innovations in the building of new community schools can combine fallout protection with an ideal atmosphere for teaching and learning. Today's message from your Office of Civil Defense will provide you with some important details that can be helpful to you and your community. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from our guest for today, a delightful lady and a talented singer. To sum it all up, I'm very happy to introduce the charming Miss Kay Arman.
I love you, echo the hills. I love you, the golden dawn agrees, as once more she sees daffodils. It's spring again, and birds on the wing again start to sing again the old melodies. I love you, that's the song of songs, and it all belongs to you and me. I love you, the golden dawn agrees, as once more she sees daffodils. It's spring again, and birds on the wing again start to sing again the old melodies. I love you, that's the song of songs, and it all belongs to you and me, and it all belongs to you and
Thank you, Kay Arman, for starting us off with that fine Cole Porter standard and for joining us today. It's great to see you again.
Well, it's good to be here, Jay. I always enjoy my visits to Stars for Defense because you invariably come up with such charming introductions, and Ray Block gives me such fine musical support.
Speaking of musical support, Kay, are you ready to have Ray and the boys back you on another number?
Of course, Jay. I wouldn't be caught around here without some music under my belt. How about a wonderful song called Wonder Why? Wonder why I'm not myself of late. I'm feeling strangely great. I wonder why. I suppose some genius could explain why I walk in the rain. Just let him try. a new sensation. It could be that he's caught up with me and all the mystery I'm speaking of is simply that I went and fell in love. I guess there is a simple explanation, unless I've come up with a new sensation. It could be that he's caught up with me and all the mystery I'm speaking of is simply that I went and fell in
Wonder Why, sung for us by Kay Armin, and a lovely rendition it was. Thank you, Kay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a message from Civil Defense. Down in Webb County, Texas, near Laredo, there's something new under the sun. The people there needed a new school, and they wanted a good one, but they wanted much more than that. They wanted protection for their children and for their community. So they told the architect to design them one that had everything: first-rate educational facilities for 500 students and a fallout shelter capacity of 2,000 people. So instead of the conventional design that's hard to heat in winter and uncomfortably warm in hot weather, he drew up something different: a protected school, a solid, handsomely constructed building where most of the classrooms are safely shielded underground. He used light-colored tiles, bright furniture, and mirrors at every turn to create an attractive atmosphere. And while some people had their doubts at first, today they're all delighted. Lack of dust has lowered maintenance costs. Air conditioning has resulted in greater comfort and better class attendance. And the underground classrooms have actually created a better learning situation. As one teacher said, you don't know how nice it is to have 25 kids looking at you and learning instead of staring out the window. The new United High School near Laredo is a definite success. Yet through proper design and careful planning, this new protected school actually cost less to construct than the kind they've been building in Laredo for the last 10 years, the ones without air conditioning or fallout protection. Now, Ray Block in the role of accompanists to the role of featured performers. Ray?
Yes, indeed, Jay. Yes, indeed. And that's a cue for an instrumental if I ever heard one.
Our thanks to Ray Block and the orchestra. Kay Armin, we're all wondering what your closing number's going to be.
You can stop wondering, Jay. And we've just sort of let all the other boys go home, and we've got about 4 musicians left. Piano, bass, guitar, drums. And I love this kind of singing because it's rather intimate. So with 4 men, what else can I sing but Falling in Love? Falling in love with love is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fantasy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love with love one night when the moon was full. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me. Is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fancy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love one night when the moon was full. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out. Love fell out. Love fell out with me.
For the past 15 minutes, you've been listening to Stars for Defense, a transcribed feature presented as a public service by this station every week in cooperation with the Office of Civil Defense. Today, our star was Kay Armin, to whom we extend our sincere thanks for a fine performance. And now, this is Jay Jackson inviting you to join us next week for some more good music by Ray Block and his orchestra and another famous star on Stars for Defense.